which was this trade on Wednesday. This is the best trade that I've taken on futures. It was the biggest trade I've ever taken on futures. And this, all right, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time tuning in, this is the YouTube channel where I'm just documenting my trading journey. First thing I want to do is thank you so much for the amount of support. We're already at 830 subscribers. Road to 1K coming very soon. And I couldn't thank anybody else but you and the man upstairs. I also want to thank Tektronix.com for sponsoring this series. If you're looking for your dream PC, Tektronix can make that happen. They specialize in building the best quality PCs with the best parts that are available in the market. So if you're ready to take that next step towards your dream PC, make sure you hit their website. It's Tektronix.com. The link is down in the description. And make sure you use my discount code RTFLV for 10% off at checkout. I can't thank them anymore that I already have because they've just been so good to me. And I know they're going to be good to you. Everything comes with a 1-year warranty and quoting is available. So if you're looking for a PC, make sure you go and check them out. A lot of people have been asking me what broker I use, and I have provided the link down in the description. So if you want to go and check it out, I use Hero FX for my Forex trades. So make sure you go and check them out and use the link down in the description. They're actually launching an iOS app, so make sure you go and check them out. But let's get into the meat and potatoes of the actual series and how my trading week has gone. I hope you know, I don't know if you do know, but as you know, it is NFP week. It is the first week of the month, which leads to basically only 3 days out of the week being very good to trade, or at least high probability to trade. That being Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday is the day before NFP because NFP is usually on a Friday. So Thursday will consolidate most of the day because they're holding off all that price action for Friday. And then Friday, I'll get into what happened today, Friday, but let's get into the charts. Let's get into the video. It was a good week and I'll explain everything once we get into the charts. And actually, I want to try something new. So let me just set up on the charts and then we'll get started. All right, so we're now in the charts. And like I say every video, make sure you stick to the end to actually see the balance of the actual funded account. I'm going to explain everything this week as best as I can. And I also want to use this video series in 2 different ways. One way is to kind of journal my trades and kind of back test at the same time. So I'm back testing and journaling at the same time as recording a video. So, you know, multitasking, killing multiple birds with one stone. And also it's a way for you as the viewer to see my thought process when it comes into the markets and what I actually end up seeing. Obviously, it's going to be different once it is live because it is a lot easier to see everything in hindsight than it is actually seeing it live in the charts. Hopefully this will train your eye, and like I said, it's going to help me as well because I am back testing in a way and seeing what I could have done better, what I did wrong, what entries I could have seen that maybe I didn't see. I don't know yet, but that is kind of the take I want to take in this video. I already journal all of my trades in my journal. This is going to be a way of actually journaling the actual trades on the chart, as in annotating everything and also back testing my strategy and seeing what I saw and what I missed and stuff like that. So let's get into this week. This is Friday, so this is the week that we ended up having these 5 candles. I'll even go on the weekly chart just to show you. So basically what I said last week was completely true. Everything, my analysis from last week was extremely accurate. Like I said, this was from last week. I said that last week, since we came down, took south side liquidity from the recent range that we had formed the week before, filled in this imbalance and hit a bullish breaker with this up close candle right here. It was just right for us to move higher. For the next week, we'll have to see how it ends up going. Next week we have FOMC and funds rate, so I have to plan out for that during this weekend. But as of right now, this is what we ended up seeing for the week. So you can see here, this is the days basically from Friday. We ended up going all the way up. It was an interesting week. I'm going to show you everything. I'm going to take you into the lower time frames to show you what ended up happening. But like I said, I only traded Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I didn't trade Thursday, and then Friday I did trade, but it was a demo trade because I wasn't too sure about trading after NFP. So I was like, let me not risk it. And especially after the week I just had, I might as well just trade on demo and see what happens. The trade ended up playing out on demo, which kind of makes me wish I would have just took the actual trade on my account. Now that I know that it's possible to actually find a setup after NFP, then I have nothing to really worry about. I wish I would have took the trade because I would have been up a lot, but hey, it is what it is. I'm ready for the next week. But let's get into the smaller time frames. This is what it looked like on the 1 hour, the low of the week being Monday, and then the high of the week being on Friday. Now let's get into the actual charts. So these are the drawings that I had. Like I always do, I have my range from the previous week, marking out the range of the previous week. So as you can see here, this is the range of the previous week from this high on that last Thursday. Technically it was from this high on Tuesday to Thursday, but we had never taken the high from the week prior, so the actual range was a lot bigger. But this was the weekly range that I was looking at, and like I said, I was expecting us to go up because these bodies down here was the wick of the weekly candle. This wick right here was those bodies that you saw, these bodies. Yeah, let's just break it down. All right, let's start with Monday. Monday kind of played with me, and it's annoying, but it happens. I should have won my trade on Monday. I didn't do what I was supposed to do. So yeah, this is what happened Monday. So as you saw on the 1 hour on Monday kind of tripped me up because I wasn't too sure on what was going to end up happening, or at least what the draw on liquidity was going to end up being for the day. I came into the day thinking we were going to reach into this 1 hour balanced price range. It is a sell side imbalance and a buy side imbalance that end up matching up together, and as you can see, if I drag it out, this is a balanced price range. So that was my bias coming into the day. I expected us to come into this 4 hour imbalance, but I got tripped up by manipulation. It is my own fault for not really seeing this, especially as it was a balanced price range and a big buy side imbalance. It had to be refilled. I was bullish on the week either way, so if I was bullish Monday or Tuesday, it was going to be the low of the week, and it ended up being on Monday, which was perfect because of this buy side imbalance right here. Yeah, I got tripped up on the manipulation, and it's my own fault. I took complete blame for it because I should have seen the manipulation. But if I take you back, this is in the afternoon. It was a trade that I could have took this day in the afternoon if I didn't already take my 2 trades for the day early in the New York session. I follow my rules. That's all that really matters. I saw this set up, but I said I can't take it because I'll be breaking my rules, which is kind of ironic because of what happened the next day, but I'll explain it once we get into the next day. So as you can see, we were on our way up all morning. We had this very long wick and then came all the way down, and I was like, I don't know where price is drawing. At first I thought price was gonna end up drawing towards this high right here, and that's why I switched my bias from it going down lower into the balanced price range, which doesn't make sense because if I was bullish already from the analysis on the weekly, I should have been looking for lower prices on Monday or Tuesday. So that is my problem, that is my fault, but I ended up missing this optimal trade entry. As you can see here, price came down, and if I measured the bodies of the candles, came into the golden zone optimal trade entry, I should have entered right here. I had my stop. I could have had my stop easily to be safe at the top of this wick, or at least at the bodies of these candles, and then targeted the 4 hour imbalance, and it would have been a 6R, which is crazy. But I was taking longs. I fell for the manipulation. I thought that when we came down, this was gonna be the move up. I got into a trade. I was up for a little bit and then ended up coming right down fast, and I was wrong. So I took 2 trades in that time, and I ended up losing both because I was just wrong on my bias, because I flipped my bias. I came into the day expecting price to come into this balanced price range. Yeah, it was my fault. As you can see here, in the afternoon, we bounced off the balanced price range, which was what I was expecting. I just couldn't trade it because I would be breaking my rules. I'll explain it more as we get into the next day, which was very interesting, but I believe I took that on the 1 minute if I'm not wrong. Breaker entry. I knew this was going to become a breaker right here, so that's why I had it marked. I said price is probably just going to end up taking off. I had my entry there, had my stop at the bottom of the fair value gap of this balanced price range. I was going to enter off of the inverse of this fair value gap, but I didn't. I would have been breaking my rules if I took this trade, which is upsetting because it was a winning trade. So maybe I should have broke my rules, but then again, don't break your rules. If you do it at your own cost, because it can cause you to lose, right? And then an easy target for this could have been these highs, which was what I was targeting in the trade. But also, if you take your fib, it got to the 3, you could have took profits at the 2.5, but as you can see here, very accurate. Should have took this trade, didn't take it. Upsetting. It is the story of this week, honestly, and I had the best trade of my futures career so far later on this week, and I'll explain it all. But man, that was frustrating. Not as frustrating as it was the next day. This is what ended up happening the next day. So on Tuesday, I was already anticipating higher prices. I said, okay, we came down to balance that buy side imbalance and bounced off, reacting very well off of the balanced price range. Now, what am I expecting? Higher prices. I'm expecting us to come for the high of Monday and for the high of Thursday at least. And as you can see, we got to the high of Thursday on the next day. We got very close to taking out the high on Monday, on Tuesday as well. But as you can see here through this monstrosity, all morning on Tuesday, I was getting chopped up. And the crazy part is I entered a long in this area about here. It came up to here and I was up about $600 on the account. And then it just came crashing down and ended up taking me out and chopping me up. As you can see, came down and then just kept doing its thing to chop me up. I entered actually on the 1 minute. If you want to see what that chart is, or that box is basically the wick of this 1 hour candle. You could use wicks as fair value gaps, or as gaps, I guess you could say, not fair value gaps. If they end up respecting the consequent encroachment or medium threshold, I'm not too sure what it is with the wick. If they end up respecting and the bodies are staying in the top quadrant, it is a very good sign that we're gonna have higher prices. So I ended up taking this position here. I forget exactly where. I think I took it somewhere around here, saw it go all the way up here, and then came back down and stopped me out. I was hoping for it to, you know, go back up. It took me out. I tried it again, went up, and then ended up taking me back out. I took about maybe 3-4 positions on this day because I was so confident that price was gonna go higher. So I got overconfident, and that's not a bad thing when you know price is gonna go higher, because I knew price was gonna go higher and price went higher. But the thing is, I broke my rules this day, all of them. I over traded, over leveraged, I was overconfident, and I did nothing wrong except for breaking my rules. But in terms of my actual strategy, I followed it to a T, and the market just had a different idea. As you can see, it was just straight chop up and down in the AM session. So that leads to the afternoon session. So in the afternoon session, since I already lost, I broke my rules, I over traded. I was like, my account has taken a big hit since I had lost on Monday, and now I lost multiple times in this chop. I'm done for the day. Price action is probably gonna be horrible in the afternoon session. I'm not gonna take any trades. And then I see everybody in the group chat going crazy, and I'm like, what's going on? I go back in the charts, and the move that I was expecting ended up happening on Tuesday in the afternoon session. It's frustrating, but I had already broken my rules. I shouldn't have even entered. I entered one more position at the end, like around here, thinking it was gonna go up, or like around here, I think it was in this area, and then it just ended up coming down and stopping me. I was like, yeah, I'm done for the day. I shouldn't have even took that last position. I ended up losing way too much on this day. I think it was at maybe 1% of the account, which is way too much. I could have just been risking 0.2 or 0.3% instead of risking a full percentage on this day and wasting it in a chop, when I could have just waited for the afternoon session and got in this move. Like I said, that's my fault for being too confident, breaking my rules, and over trading in this chop. I should have just been able to realize that we were gonna chop, especially in the 1 minute, because you can see that after it was just chopping way too much, especially in this area. I think my first position was like somewhere around here, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was in here. So I took it when it came back into this balanced price range, and then the chop almost took me out. I think I had my stop right below. I forget exactly where I had my stop, but it ended up coming close to my stop, not really taking me out, and then it just took off, and I was up $600. I just saw it come all the way down very quickly within a minute or two, and yeah, it was just way too much chop. I should have been able to see that and just got out and said, okay, I'm gonna wait, sit on my hands and just wait till the PM session. Hopefully the move that I'm waiting for happens, because I knew we were bullish. I knew that the draw on liquidity was higher, but I took that trade when I shouldn't have. Either way, let's move on to the golden trade of the week, which was this trade on Wednesday. This is the best trade that I've taken on futures. It was the biggest trade I've ever taken on futures, and this got me back all the profit that I had lost on Monday and Tuesday, and then some. So let's break it down. Coming into Wednesday, I saw that we had taken out the high that I was targeting since Monday, and I said, okay, so we're definitely going for the all-time highs. I came into the market, and it was basically doing this. It was basically just chopping all around. I think we had news at 10, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we had news at 10. So I had entered when this candle at 9:30 came down into this buy side imbalance, because I was expecting higher prices. So a retracement lower was all that I was looking for, and I was looking for this buy side imbalance to then go up. So I got in there on the 1 minute, saw it come down, and I didn't enter right away because I saw that we had an order block. So there was a 15-minute order block, and that was where I had my limit order. I had my limit order on the order block, so the trade was actually supposed to be even bigger. The trade was supposed to be this, right? It had my stop right below the body of the breaker, and still had the same target, which was that high. So the trade was supposed to be a 14.5 RR. That is a crazy RR. If I wasn't impatient, it would have been that, because as you can see, what took me out of my first position, which was that position I got into the buy side imbalance, was the news at 10. I was expecting the news to help me, but it just went up, came down, cleared, and then you see where it closed. So it was still respecting that 15-minute buy side imbalance. So that's why I ended up re-entering. Like I said, I saw that price came into it here and then reacted, and I got impatient. I said, it's probably not gonna come down. If it does, let's see what happens. It came down. I entered basically at the bottom. I remember I entered here in a market order with 2 contracts, and then I saw it start to move up, and then I entered again on this candle, if I'm not mistaken. Once it came down, then I saw it, did it again, came down, and then started to go up. I said, okay, I'm good. By the time that 10 rolls around, this should send me higher. I have my 5 contracts in, came down, boom. I saw that it came down, it took me out. I was like, dang. But once you know the draw on liquidity, that shouldn't stop you from getting into the trade. I saw that happen and immediately thought about the bullish order block that I had marked off, because that was where my original limit order was. I saw that. I saw how it reacted off of it as soon as we got into it, and it's even a breaker. It came into it, wouldn't have hit my stop because my stop was below the body of the order block, which is I believe down here, so I would have been totally fine and I would have been able to write out the whole trade, no worries at all. But came down, started to go back up. I saw it starting to come down and I was gonna re-enter right here, but I hesitated. I don't know why I hesitated. I should have expected it to bounce off of that fair value gap, since it was still respecting the fair value gaps, as you can see with the bodies, and then it started to leave. Once it started to leave, I was like, I'm not about to miss out. It came down, I re-entered in there, had my stop at the bottom of the fair value gap, and it didn't take too long for price just to take off. Price started to take off. I took my profits. So if I'm not mistaken, I took 3 contracts off here and took the last 2 off right here. What I was gonna do was I was anticipating us to have a big retracement at least below these lows in the afternoon session, and then go out to take those highs, because I knew that was the draw on liquidity. So I said, let me get out of it. What I should have done was just take one of the 2 contracts I had off here at this liquidity pool, and then left the last one to ride out to take out that last high, which was the all-time high. Like I said, I was expecting price to come back down into these lows, at least take out liquidity, and then head for those highs, which I was going to re-enter again. If you pay attention, it was a higher time frame buy model, and this was the kiss of death. So I should have just left my whole position just ride out all day, which is, you know, kind of crazy to think about. But if you know what you're doing, that would have played out on this day. I'm happy I took my profits. I was very happy with this trade because this was the best trade that I took on futures. So I'm not upset at all, because like I said, it actually ended up bringing me back out of drawdown. I'm not in drawdown anymore. I show the account at the end of the video, so make sure you stick for that. Yeah, I could have made a lot more this day. I didn't. It's okay. It happens. I know what I'm doing now, in a sense. It feels good. I feel like an actual trader now. I think I can become very consistent with this, and I don't know if you guys can have noticed, I'm catching like a crazy cramp on my tricep. But that was the best trade I had, and then we had this monstrosity on Thursday. Thursday, like I said, it was gonna be just straight up chop. As you can see, came down, chop. I thought at least it would have came down into the 4-hour buy side imbalance that was created from Tuesday, but it was just straight up chop. So don't trade on the Thursday before NFP Friday, because it's most likely gonna be choppy, and if you do find a trade in there, it won't be high probability. So I'm just gonna skip through Thursday and go straight into Friday. So this is what I saw today, Friday. So today, Friday, was NFP. As you can see, they went up as the manipulation and then came back down with the draw, initially being that 4-hour sell side imbalance, but then at the end of the day ended up coming back up for that all-time high. And I saw a trade in here, and the reason why I saw a trade was because just price action was looking beautiful. The better trade was honestly on ES. If you could see on ES, this is the fair value gap on ES, and then it went straight up there way faster than NQ. NQ took so long, it took the rest of the day to really get there, but can't be mad at it at all. This is what I saw. I entered on the 1-minute chart. So as you can see, we came into the fair value gap, the 15-minute fair value gap, came back into it one more time, and then reacted off of it. Once I saw that we had reacted off of it, we formed a buy side imbalance here. I believe also there was an SMT between these lows, so I was like, it's gonna go higher. I set my limit order at the premium end of the buy side imbalance, and I saw price. Once price went up, I took half of the position at the 75% of the fib, which was around this area. If I take the fib from the terminus and where I entered, 75% of the fib was right there. Perfect. Took half of my position there, saw it come all the way down. I had to move my stop to break even because it was a demo trade, so I said, let me just write it out. It doesn't matter. Honestly, bad habits. That should have been where I moved my stop loss to break even, maybe been out of this trade, but then I would have missed the crazy move higher after that. It went up straight, which I didn't miss because I didn't close out the position, but as you can see, it went up. It was a 6.5 RR. It was a very good trade on NFP Friday. Honestly, I wasn't expecting that at all. There was a short in the afternoon session too that somebody could have caught, and yeah, it was a very good short, as you can see here, with the higher time frame high and then the open at 130. You can see we had a fair value gap right here that was respected. Could have been the entry there, and we would have had a short at that point too. I'm just gonna have it there with the stop above the high, and then you could have been targeting at least these lows right here, or maybe even the fair value gap once again, the 4-hour fair value gap once again, but I didn't didn't take that trade either. It's just what I saw in the afternoon. This is NFP Friday. I wasn't too sure if I was even gonna see good price action on NFP Friday, so that's why I took these, well, the first trade on demo, and then I ended up seeing this later on in the afternoon after I came back to see what ended up happening. But yeah, that's basically it. Let's get into the actual account. So as you can see, we are back outside of drawdown. As you can see here, we had a very good day on the last day with a $794 trade. Would have been a lot more if I would have left my trade going, but can't be too upset about it. 2 trades on Monday, ended up losing $168. So I ended up losing almost $800 on those 2 days, especially with this day where I traded 4 times in the day, which is bad. Don't do that, especially with that chop, man. And then I ended up missing the actual move in the PM session. It was frustrating, but it ends up happening. And then I had that very good trade on Friday. As you can see, the curve is getting better. Hopefully it keeps going higher. This is my average win rate, which is 37%, which is actually horrible as of right now, but I'm gonna get that up, and I mean that. But yeah, these are the numbers. It was a weird week. It was just a weird week. I should have been able to see what I didn't see, especially Monday. Monday should have been a win. Tuesday, I should have been able to see that it was just gonna end up chopping the whole morning, and then just waited, not over traded, been a little bit more patient, and then could have had 3 winning days, honestly. And even on Wednesday, if I would have just left my winners run, could have had more profit, but I was content with being out of drawdown. I said, okay, let me just finish here. I'm not gonna trade Thursday or Friday. Let's go into the new week with clean slate. Let's see what ends up happening now that I really understand how to, I guess, read. The draw on liquidity was really what I wasn't too sure on before, and that if you're struggling with could help you. The next week I am anticipating at least some type of movement down. Don't know how far as of right now, but you do see this low resistance liquidity run and this trend line liquidity right here with all these lows that are lined up for the next week. So let's see how it ends up going. Yeah, that's the week that I ended up having. If you made it this far, I want to thank you so much for the amount of support we've been getting on the YouTube channel. It is clearly because of you. You're finding some type of value in these videos. If you're going through your trading journey, please let me know how your trading journey is going in the comments. If you have a friend who is getting into trading, send him this video or any one of my videos, because these are the problems that they're going to end up having if they're beginning. And I want to show the ups and downs of trading. I want to show the realism of becoming a profitable trader, which is what I'm working towards. So make sure you use my discount code RTFLV for a 10% discount. Check out Tektronics.com. Thank you so much for sponsoring this series. Make sure you use the link down in the description for my broker on my FX trades. Things are getting very excited, man. Just stick around. I'm very confident that I'm gonna start being a lot more consistent, and that is what I've been missing. I've been in that boom and bust cycle, as you can see, and I just need to become a bit more consistent and have small losses and big wins. So hopefully I figured it out, and I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I'm gonna pass this challenge like I always say. But enough of me yapping. I've been recording for a while, so I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.